My name is Lauren and I am a lab technician here at the Aaron Lab at UCSF. So we're studying squamous cell carcinoma and how the different effects or what sort of mutations can lead to that type of cancer. So I'm originally from Honolulu, Hawaii, and I moved up here to San Francisco for college. I graduated from the University of San Francisco. My parents are actually not science related at all. My dad works in information technology and my mom works in marketing back in Hawaii. And I guess I would say that I've always been scientifically inclined. Math and science were always my best subjects in middle school and high school. And so in college I majored in biology and just continued it after. I like learning about the human body and how there are so many different systems working together at the grander scale of your nervous system, endocrine system, etc., down to the small individual unit of the cell, which is very complex in itself. And I just love learning about how that all works together to make humans. I'm a lab technician, so I mainly carry out like the wet lab aspect of these experiments. Say if I'm doing mostly cell culture things at that point in time, then I would come in, go to our incubator and microscope and check on our cell lines, how they look, making sure that they're happy and then they're growing properly. And if, say, they're too crowded, I would have to, I guess you would split them into like a bigger vessel or split them into multiple ones so that they can keep growing happily, because you don't want them to get too crowded in their dish. So I would kind of check on them, and then I would go ahead and warm up whatever media we would be using to feed those cells. You typically want to warm them to 37 degrees Celsius. So you want to warm it up to that point so you're not cold shocking the cells. Sometimes I do some PCR reactions, so I'll have to like set up those reactions in little tubes and then set them on the machine and have them going. One of the downsides to science, especially the wet lab work that I do, is that you can put a lot of time and effort into an experiment and sometimes it just doesn't work out, and you either have to like troubleshoot and go back and either do it again, or maybe the experiment just doesn't work and you have to like move on from that. And sometimes it's hard for me to just be like kind of move on and like, what happened, what went wrong? And sometimes you just don't know, so it can be a little frustrating. But then when things do finally work out, it just feels that much more awesome because, I don't know, it worked. I am relatively new, I guess you could say, so I don't know a whole lot about different aspects of research and lab work, so it's great to have these lab mates that can kind of teach me and help me learn and help me grow as a member of this team, and also explain things to me, because clearly I don't know everything. And we all do come from different backgrounds and education, I guess. It ranges from doctors to people with PhDs. To me, I just graduated from college like 2 years ago, to people's in master's programs. So especially since we're all in kind of different fields, we can bring different perspectives into the lab, like maybe more statistic focused things to more patient oriented things, and it's good to have these different points of view coming together in a lab environment to, I don't know, educate each other as well. I guess people are mainly concerned with diseases and what kind of drugs there are for those diseases, but what medical science and research really does is helps to understand those diseases, so we know what targets are best for drugs or maybe some other therapies to best cure or alleviate those diseases or symptoms. So it's kind of like the science behind the medicine. Kind of like trying to win a marathon without ever training for it. Like you're just going, but you don't know how to run those long distances. So I guess this medical research helps you train to best get to your goal.